Howdy friends, I'm Farmer Brett, your FoodCorps service member, and today we're going to be talking about corn. Corn is such a cool crop that we have a ton of in the US. Just last year, the US produced 1 billion tons of corn. The US is the world's leading producer of corn. There are over 300,000 corn farms just in the US. We have been eating corn for a long time. The most ancient evidence of human corn consumption was found in caves in Puebla, a state in central Mexico. And archaeologists estimate that the corn discovered there is 7,000 years old. That's an old piece of corn. Okay, here's a corny joke. What did the baby call his daddy? I don't know what. Popcorn. Pop. Oh, wow. Corn grows in a really cool way. It grows in community. Corn has these straw-colored tassels near the top. These are the male flowers of the plant. It also has silks, the female flowers. The tassels contain pollen that falls down and is carried to the silks by the wind. The tassels produce much more pollen than they need, and the silks flutter about in the wind to catch drifting pollen. The surface of each silk has tiny little hair-like receptors that grab onto the pollen once it lands. Then it travels down the silks to the kernel area, where fertilization occurs. Corn helps each other grow by spreading its seed to other plants using the wind. Corn is really hard to grow on its own. It needs a whole community of corn stalks to be successful, just like us. We thrive in community too. Remember that we always want to treat others the way we want to be treated and help uplift and support those in our community in need. What did the corn say when he received a compliment? Nothing. He never received a compliment. Nope. Aw, shucks. like you shuck corn. No. Okay. The three sisters are the three main agricultural crops of multiple Native American tribes consisting of corn, winter squash, and climbing beans. By the time the European settlers arrived in America, the Haudenosaunee had been growing the three sisters for over 300 years. The Haudenosaunee believed that the corn, beans, and squash were gifts from the Great Spirit. So these three sisters, which again are the corn, the winter squash, and the climbing beans, protect and inhabit the croplands. Sister Corn stands tall to guard and protect the crops. Sister Bean feeds the roots of Sister Corn. And Sister Squash, the oldest of the three sisters, stays close to the earth and encircles the sisters in a protective fashion and uses her large leaves to protect and shade the soil. These three crops also help provide Native Americans with a nutritionally balanced diet. Who remembers this? That's right, it's our My Plate. If we're looking at our My Plate, we know that corn and squash are both vegetables, but corn is also made into flour or popcorn, which is a grain, so that checks off 2 of our sections. And beans are part of the protein food group. So as you can see, much of our My Plate is satisfied by the three sisters' crops. This technique is called companion planting and works by planting the three crops close together so they can support each other. The corn provides a structure for the beans to climb, and the beans provide nitrogen to the soil that the other plants can use, and the squash spreads along the ground, blocking the sunlight and helping prevent weed growth. Okay, why doesn't anybody laugh at the gardener's jokes? Because, like these jokes, they're not funny? No. Because they're too corny. So I was right, just like these jokes. Are you all ready for a movement break? Me too. Let's do the corn cheer. The corn cheer has 5 parts, so here they are. Part 1, we're gonna plant the corn. Part 2, we're gonna grow the corn. Part 3, we're gonna pick the corn. Part 4, we're gonna shuck the corn. And part 5, we'll pop the corn. So let's do it. We're gonna plant the corn. Plant, plant the corn, then we'll grow the corn. Grow, grow the corn, then we'll pick the corn. Pick, pick the corn, then we'll shuck the corn. Shuck, shuck the corn, then we'll pop the corn. Pop, pop the corn, then we'll pop the corn. Pop, pop the corn. We're gonna plant the corn. Plant, plant the corn, then we'll grow the corn. Grow, grow the corn, then we'll pick the corn. Pick, pick the corn, then we'll shuck the corn. Shuck, shuck the corn, then we'll pop the corn. Pop, pop the corn, then we'll pop the corn. Pop, pop the corn. Now we're gonna make a popcorn craft. So we're gonna be making popcorn necklaces. You can use Cheerios or any other small snack you might have at the house. So you're gonna need one wide eye needle, some popcorn, and thread. So now I'm gonna make some popcorn so we can make our popcorn necklaces. I'm gonna make my popcorn on the stove from kernels like this, but you can also use microwave popcorn or whatever you have in the house. Yum! So first we're gonna cut our thread twice as long as we want it. So I want mine to be pretty long necklace, so I'm gonna do 2 of that, right? Next, we're gonna tie a double knot at the end. So I'm gonna take the end and tie a knot like so. And then I'm just gonna keep tying knots on top of that knot so that it's really big, so there's no way that the popcorn will fall off, because that would be sad. Next, we're going to thread the end that doesn't have a knot in it through the needle. Okay, there we go. So our needle is in on that end, and on the other end we have our double knot. And now we're going to be taking our pieces of popcorn and gently push the needle through, and the popcorn will just go on the string like that. And there we go. I have a popcorn necklace, a nice little edible snack. Yummy. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed hanging out with me today. I'll see you soon on Wellness Wednesday. Have a good day. Okay, last one. What do you call a mythical veggie? Amazing? Maze? Now you're getting it. That's really good. But no, it's a unicorn. I'm leaving.